Live. Yo, what is up, guys? DPS Podcast episode 61. It's a Tuesday. It's like the third time. Well, we did a bunch of episodes on a Tuesday before we moved to Thursday, but you know, Tuesday's the second home, so Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So we're gonna definitely talk about, you know, things like that, talk about, you know, family stuff and what we're gonna be doing with our families. And we're also going to talk about Xbox in 20 years because a lot of time has went by, and me and Slomo haven't really given you guys like what Xbox has meant to us over 20 years. And we're also going to solicit you guys in the chat for that too. But with that being said, I'm here with my homeboy, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of many slaps, the man that posted a video for the first time in forever, Slomo. Simonius backslap. How you been doing today, man?
Yo, I've been doing good, bro. I've been having a good time, man. I've been playing a ton of Halo, and you know it's funny because it's like I usually play a gazillion different games a week. You know, I'm exaggerating, but I play a lot of different games, right? Probably about 3 or 4 different games a week. And ever since the stealth launch of the Halo Infinite Beta, that's been primarily what I've played. I've played 2 other games, and I pretty much had to force myself to play those games. Um, Forza Horizon 5 I'm still playing because people keep challenging me in the rivals to rate to times and stuff, and so I gotta beat them, right? You know, that's one. And then 2, I got this Ferrari that's amazing. It's probably the fastest car in the game. I got it in a barn find. Forte, I've been waiting over a week for them to restore this vehicle so I can use it. Over a freaking week, man. I'm just like, yo, every time I log in, I'm like, yo, is it ready? Is it ready? I go to the bar files. It's like, oh, we're just, we fine tuning, you know, I don't know cars. We fine tuning some sprockets or something. I don't know what the heck they do to the engine.
Some sprockets.
And I'm just like, dude, why? Why do you take forever? Look, and I'm a super casual racing dude, right? Like people like, yo, why is your car so fine tuned? You know, shout out to Windu the Mace. Because I just be taking his tunes. He says it's cool. I'm cool. He's cool with it. I'm cool with it. I just, I search him up. He's like, you got this car? Great. He does. If he don't, okay, that's cool. I'll find someone else's tune. I take tunes. That's what I do. We do out here. But no, I've been playing that. But just kind of logging in to check in with things and maybe doing one race because I want to get all the festival outpost stuff done that I can officially say that I've completed like the main parts of Forza Horizon 5. And at some point I'll go ahead and uninstall it because that's all I really do. And then once other people aren't playing it anymore, there's really no like incentive to play by myself like that. I've already kind of lost the desire to do that anyway. But that, and I played the Forgotten City, which a lot of people have been speaking very highly of, and I understand now why. I streamed that yesterday, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's a game made by just 4 people, and it looks that way visually. But like this isn't the kind of game. That's not a shot at them. You know, they did what they could with a limited number of people, and limited budgets and stuff, but the strength of that game isn't going to be something like visuals. It's storytelling, it's game design, and the way this one is designed is like it's very much. Actually, I would say it's a better version of 12 minutes. Bigger. It doesn't take place only in an apartment, but it has a time loop mechanic to it that works really well. So I'm going to definitely finish the Forgotten City, but other than that, man, it's just been Halo Infinite, man. Halo Infinite multiplayer all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
Blade
That's
X
what we
said
do.
Halo is Slow-Mo's destiny. You want
It
to
might
respond
be.
to that?
It might be. It shit might be. Like, no, let me stop. No, it might be, that might be the case. We'll see what happens. You know, look, I uninstalled Splitgate.
Hey, you should have installed that as soon as you saw that you played the technical flight for Halo. That's when you
I mean,
should have installed it.
look. I didn't know it was gonna hit like this. I didn't. But all that said, like I still got Road Company, and although I haven't played Road Company since the flight started. So that's the flight. Sorry, the beta started. So I don't know. This might be all the multiplayer I can handle right now. But I'm having the ball, man. I'm having the ball.
It's fun, man. Shout out to Real Zaire. Shout out to Blade X in the chat. Shout out to Gregor Von Doom. Yeah, I did not put the space in there, but I separated it in the title, sir. Yeah, you're right about that. Shout out to RK. He said doing the thing this early in the week. Nice. Appreciate you for coming through, bro. Yeah, we thought about trying to do something on Thanksgiving, but that was a very short conversation because ain't nobody trying to, when it comes to like days like that, it's like it's more about your family than it is about you, because most of us around the time, like think about it, DPS goes live at like between 9 and 9:30. By the time when that time rolls around, we're already ready to go home no matter where we're at. But it's about your family. Your family wants you to stick around, and your wife and your kids probably playing with their nieces and nephews, and they ain't ready to leave yet. So
right,
you really ain't trying to force other people to have to be on the schedule for like, something as trivial as a podcast. So that's why we did it today, just so we can make sure you guys did get your weekly fix on the podcast. But we definitely appreciate you guys coming through.
Hey, real quick, that map there, I forgot the name of it. That's not Recharge. What's the name of this map? They just Aquarius.
Yeah.
How do you like that map? I hate it.
You talking about the one we on right now?
Yeah, the map that you're from the gameplay. I hate this map so much.
I listen to so many people on this map really complain about, like, it just feels like you're always, it's like so
one
many open
big old
areas.
wide open space.
Yeah.
And everyone hangs in the hallways and corridors on the sides. And they always want to do capture the flag here.
They do.
The map is about the size of somebody's closet, and you want to do capture the flag here. I'm like, yo, like
the size of someone's closet.
I'm like, it's a small map. We doing capture the flag. I just like it's just so basic, and I always feel like I don't know, like it's either in a match and we just completely destroy the other team, or it's the opposite.
Yeah, and it's really no give and take. It's like, yeah, it's all over the place with this map. I was listening to BG really complain about it, and part of me was like, are y'all really complaining about this because y'all getting dumped on during the map, or is it really a bad map? And then I had a couple of games where I was like, oh yeah, if you get put on the wrong side of a spawn trap or the wrong side of teammates, oh, this map sucks.
Yes,
it does.
And it has the usual symmetrical style of Halo maps where like both sides are equally have the same amount of like stuff there, but it's just it's too small for what it's doing. If it was a little bit bigger, I feel like it would be a little bit more efficient and a better map, but it's just too small for what they're trying to do with it. And I'm not like
it'd be a person really good duels map, 2v2.
Oh yeah. You can use that for the, but then the way they, that I notice certain modes are always on certain maps. Like capture the flag is always on Behemoth.
Yep.
You'll get Slayer on everything, but you like Strongholds is never on Aquarius. I've never played Strongholds on Aquarius, but I always play Strongholds on Street. I always play it on what's the Recharge?
Recharge, yeah.
I always play it on Live Fire. But I never play Strongholds on Behemoth, which is probably the biggest non-big team battle map. You never play like you always play certain modes in certain areas, and it's just like that one map with the spaceship that's the one I feel like that's the worst map in the game. The big L-shaped one.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, bro.
It's bad. It's because it's so lopsided. The way they got it set up, it's so lopsided because they always do capture the flag there, but it's not capture like there's not two flags, it's just one flag, and you're either on offense or defense. And they need to just throw that one away. Like just get that one up out of here.
Away.
Throw it in the dumpster. Just like ball it up like a paper ball. Yell Kobe, throw that right in the trash. Right, it needs to go because it's just like I don't. It's so defense heavy. Like the defense side defending the flag has like the skewer. It has all the weapons that you use to blow up vehicles.
Yeah.
The other side has the vehicles, and they're like you're basically funneled into very few avenues to get to the flag. Like it's difficult to flank because the only way to flank is to take that jump over to the other side, which you can get sniped in the air from. And then all you gotta do is just have one guy kind of watching that backside and let the other three just defend. And it's like it's easily defendable. And I hate it. Every time I see the map come up, I go, "Oh my god, not this again." And it's I can't stand it. But yeah, no, I know I'm just talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh no. I mean, listen, this whole this show is going to be a bunch of random stuff because it's not like a lot of.
It really ain't much going on, right?
I mean, honestly, it's been probably very therapeutic because we've been able to just play video games this week and not really have to worry about, hey, we got to talk about this, we got to talk about that, and we got to, get video clips of this and that. It's just been a very enjoyable week just to play games and stuff, and Halo has been a catalyst for that. So definitely anybody that talks about Halo as much as they do is very warranted right now.
Right. Well, let's talk about rank mode real quick. Arena, the ranked arena stuff.
Yeah,
So
let's
like
talk
you
about
got ranked and I got ranked. So like what you got ranked before me? What's the rank that you have right now for? But matter of fact, there are three modes. Let's talk
there's
first.
three. Yeah,
there's three ranks.
Three ranks. There's one for there's one main rank for your open. So like
It's called rank open, which is
PC, console, everything. It's team based. It's all. It could be squads. It could be singles. But
it could be keyboard or mouse or controller.
Yeah, it's completely open.
Whatever.
So and a lot of people and for what I noticed is a lot of people team up in that one. Whereas there's
full stacks in there.
Yeah, full stack. That's the full stack playlist pretty much. And then you have the solo dual playlist, which is broken up into two different playlists, which is either mouse and keyboard or controller only. And you can only join that with no more than two people or in a fire team by yourself, which I think is probably the more enjoyable
I like that one. Okay, so I got a funny story, but I want to know what your rank. I'm fairly certain you've done at least two of them.
I didn't do keyboard.
You haven't done the keyboard one.
No, I haven't even started.
Okay, I got a story about the keyboard and mouse one.
Okay.
All right, what's your rank in the open and the solo duos with controller?
Gold 6.
Gold 6 is for which one?
Open.
Open, and then what did you get for solo duo?
Platinum 2.
Nice. Okay, so you haven't touched the keyboard and mouse, and probably never will.
And I probably never will.
I wish I could say the same.
Uh-oh.
Look, I was tired. All right, I was tired, like lack of sleep, man. Okay,
was tired.
So I decided to go into solo duos by myself, and I started up. And I see that it says keyboard and mouse, but it didn't really click with me that it was forcing me to use keyboard and mouse. And I'm just like, I thought it just meant, well, you're gonna be matched in here with some people who have who are you playing keyboard and mouse? And I'm just like, all right, well, whatever, cool. I'm used to that already, so no big deal.
Right.
I get into the match and my controller ain't working. And I'm like, oh no.
That was broken.
Oh no. No. And
wait, hold on. Before you finish it, let me get these super chats from Gabe. Shout out to Gabe over Brian. Now, homie, shout out to you, bro, with the $5 hollers. Slow-mo, when time starts podcast, you can't be playing pony ball all day.
What is pony ball?
Hey,
I don't.
hey,
Brian is adamant that I am a pony, and
look,
as much games as I play, I need Brian to check my PSN ID. You don't see me playing many of those games over on my PlayStation. If it's a multi-plat, I'm playing it on PC.
right. And then
Yeah.
then we got Game Over Right with another $5 holler. To my friends, have a great holiday. Thank you both. What you bring to the community. And no, thank you. Honestly, let's be for real, Brian. You do more for the community than most people do because
Facts.
you're consistently supporting and you're consistently having conversations with people in different, and not just our chat. In every chat I go to, I always see Game Over Brian show up. So you definitely take the gold star on that one, man. We're just here just to entertain people, but you do it a little bit more because you're not just a one-trick pony like a lot of other people out here. So we appreciate you more than anything. And shout out to Erodimus. He up in the chat. He said, "What's going on here?" That man, he tried to blast me on my video. He was like, the one thing I realized in watching this gameplay from Gaming Forte, this man sure likes to steal kills.
Okay, you just killed. I'm looking at this gameplay. You didn't kill about 3 or 4 people, and I was the whole time I was thinking, where's his team at?
Right, that's what I'm trying to
like,
say.
where is your squad? This is why I've been trying to get you to roll with us, but you will never seem. I'm starting to think it's on purpose.
No.
You just be like, I hit you up like, hey yo, we playing, and I don't hear nothing. I'm just like, all right, well, I guess you just want to play solo. All right, then. But anyway, no.
We gonna play tonight when we get off. We gotta jump in there and play tonight.
What's your field of view? Because it looks like you in a fishbowl right now.
Oh, I am. I'm easily at either 95 or 100. I
What?
think it's
No.
I think 95.
It looks like 120 or something.
Oh, it ain't
like
that high.
Yeah, look, I'm always the most I go.
I'll tell you right now,
fluctuate between 90 to 105. 90 is the minimum I'll do. 105 is the maximum. If it's over 105, I can't aim at anything. Everything looks warped.
I am telling you right now. Shout out to Quick Resume. The game wasn't even loaded, and I hit a button, and I was within the game within not even a second. My field of view.
Erodimus says he was kidding.
Never mind. I am playing at 120.
I see. Look. So that looked weak. I'm telling you, the players look far away.
They are far away, bro.
The dude was right in front of you, and it looked like the guy looked like a toy action figure or something. It didn't even look like a real person.
I will say this: the one thing about playing on such a ridiculous FOV, gauging melees is a problem because they're actually closer than they actually are, but when you go to melee, you're like, okay, they're not there yet. You'll notice that in a little bit of my gameplay. You'll like, why is he meleeing like when they're that far? You would think I didn't remap my buttons, but it's mostly because I look at the screen, I'm like, okay, he might be close enough for me
closer
to melee,
than when you think it is,
but he's not.
Right.
So, yeah, but
I
played
let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead with your story. Yeah.
So I said, well, maybe I could do it. Let me just tell you that the wrong time to learn how to play mouse and keyboard is in a ranked match for mouse and keyboard with a bunch of people who are so comfortable with mouse and keyboard, they decide to go into ranked matches in Halo Infinite multiplayer. I learned real quickly that was not going to work for me. So I just look, only the one. There's only been 2 times I've quit a match, and that was one of them. The other time I quit is when I jumped into a quick play match, and my entire team, I guess they got lagged out or something. The server like crapped out. My entire team quit. It was just me, and they replaced them all with the bots. And I was like, nah, fam, I'm not doing this match. It was like within 5 seconds, I quit that thing. So that was the only other time I quit a match. So I have a 1 match on my record for mouse and keyboard. And that's the only time, I will remain unranked in that. Otherwise, I see some people have been asking for like what the KD, our
Oh, we'll
KDs
talk
are and
about that
stuff.
too.
Yeah, but I'm still unranked in the open because I refuse to go in there when all these full stacks
That's
solo.
all
So
that's
I'm
in
trying
there
to get
too.
and then also I want to kind of try to like help other people before they go in, excuse me, and get their rank to do it the correct way. So I'll explain this that by telling my story with this. I did one match solo, and then I matched up with someone else um to do the solo duos with, but that person had already hit diamond rank. So I noticed in these placement matches for myself, I'm only going up against diamond rank people. And I'm just like, yo, why is this so sweaty? and we were losing. I think we may have won like one match out of the six that I did before we were done. And so I got like three more matches to do the place. And I've only probably like won two. So ended up doing, and actually maybe one at that point. Ended up doing, shout out to Elder Cat. Me and him did my last three earlier today. And I got placed in Platinum 4. I was shocked I got placed in Platinum 4 considering how I was going up against all the diamonds for like half my more than half of my placement matches. I didn't do terrible, but I didn't do as like I usually do. And my KD went down a tad bit, but it was cool. It was cool. I need to do my open, but I want to do it with a full team. So like, other people using the full team, I'm gonna use a full team. And I want everybody that I'm doing it with to be unranked so that we getting all the other unranked pool people and now pooling from like the Diamond 5 group or the freaking Onyx group or something. I don't know, right? So that's my story. That's my story on that.
Onyx is no joke, man. I played in the Onyx fire team, and yeah, that's yeah, that's
not my speed.
not right now. It ain't. It was like I was
my hands is too old for all of
no.
that.
I was like my nephew, he just turned 19, and we were playing. Hey, and I was playing in his group because he ranked.
Oh, he's on it.
Yeah, he's Onyx now. He ranked diamond. He was diamond 4, and then he got placed at diamond 4, and then he made it to Onyx. And I was playing with him because we were just playing customs. We 1v1ing, and like I was like, oh yeah, the skill disadvantage here is real. I'm like, I was like, I feel. I don't feel like I should be feeling like I feel right now playing
I
against
feel
him.
like a relic.
And he up here telling me, "Come on, old man, come on, old man." I was like, "Yo,
Oh, now you're not talking
no,
trash
he
too. Oh,
talking, no, he talking mad mess." And you know what? I'm going with the punches. He was like, "All right, well, since you can't beat me, let's go in here and play some rank games." So I jumped and played some rank games. And I was like, "Wait a minute." Ain't you Onyx? And he was like, yeah. I said, man, we're gonna be in the Onyx playlist. I'm only platinum 2. And he was like, oh, you'll be all right. And the
yeah,
funny
you
thing
be a
is
platinum 1.
well, no, the funny thing is we won like 2 out of, I think we played like 5 games, and we only won 2 of them, but they were all super close. But it was like, man,
That's how my matches
that
were, and
jumping
that was
skill
so.
was ridiculous.
Oh man, that was so annoying. Like, but we were so annoyed when we would get into two of my I won my last placement match, but the two prior to that with Elder Cat, we were winning the like for 85% of the match we were winning. And then the other team came back and beat us. And I was just like, son of a me not knowing how this whole thing works. I know winning is a part of the rank thing. And if you lose, you're not going to gain any rank once you're already placed, right? So I'm thinking like
Right.
winning is that important. So I need to make sure I win. And like I maybe won 3 matches. So I don't know what the criteria is maybe I just have no idea what their criteria is for placing people. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm not fighting just all diamonds
Oh, it is
for the
rough.
open. Um,
A couple people like Erodimus, he was saying he said rip my BR game in Halo. I am horrible in ranked.
oh,
um,
okay, so you know what? Let's start giving some people some advice here. So I gave some people some advice on what to do,
well,
to
tell
get
everybody what your
help yourself
KD
in
is
rank.
right now because you
All right,
talked about it.
mine is one. I'm a 1.34 KD right now. It's not great. I wish it was higher. It was at like it started out at like 1.5, then it fell to 1.43, and then since I started doing this rank stuff, it fell to 1.34. But it ain't horrible. It's especially considering some of the people. Look, I almost said some things. Some of the people in the community's KDs. And look, this is no shade to
Look,
anybody.
I
I'm
mean,
not
you
saying
can
it.
go look it up if you want to just look at your favorite, your favorite Twitter personality, YouTuber, or anything. Just go look their gamer tag up and just type it in,
Uh,
and
and you will
you
see
will see
how much
everybody if
you
they
will
are
see if
good at
they.
games or not.
And you know, and the way I got no problem with anybody having a low KD, as long as you playing the game and having fun. And like
That's all
I
that
played
matters.
today with someone whose KD is abysmal, but he was having a great time. And I mean, he was cracking me up. I wasn't even in his match, but just in the party with him, listening to him talk about like what was going on. He was loving the Fiesta. I mean, we should talk about the event too. He was
Yeah.
loving this new event with I can't stand Fiesta. That's me. But he's loving it. And I mean, grabbing the hammer and wrecking people with it. And he's having a great time. I'm like, cool, you know. But my issue is with the people that did all this capping for Halo Infinite, and then you check their gamer tag, and they got like 2 matches. Like, what's that? You spent more time talking about the game than playing it.
Mm.
Make it make sense. So that's the only issue. If you just suck, but it's okay. You're having fun. You playing with friends, having a great
That's all
time.
that matters.
That's all that freaking matters, man. I got over 100 matches in at this point already.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I'm close to 100.
but what I was going to say about the BR, because Erodimus said that rip my BR game in Halo, I'm horrible in rank. Do this, Erodimus. This is what I did because like it's been a while for me in playing like this much Halo. So I was already on point with the AR, on point with the pistol off the flight. I didn't use the BR too much in the flights. So when this beta started, I was a little bit rusty. This is what I did to get myself squared away with the BR. Now, if I grab the BR, I'm killing like at least 3 people before I go down. And so this is what you do. Go into training, go into academy, go into training mode. Go into choose a map, preferably a smaller map so you can keep running into people.
Mm-hmm.
And make the primary because once you get into the actual match, this is training mode against bots, and by default they make it the Marines, which is the second easiest one. Go into the settings, change it to Spartan, make it the hardest bots. The Spartan bots will body 90% of this gaming community. I'm not even joking or exaggerating. Like the Spartan bots are stronger than they were in the flights.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
I go in there and I just get warmed up on them. Some people get warmed up in quick play. I get warmed up in the training mode against the Spartan bots. Then I go into quick play. Um, but go in there, change the primary weapon from the AR to the battle rifle, and just basically try to make it as much like ranked as possible. Don't have a secondary weapon. Take that out. Use the BR as your primary. Um, take out only thing you can make everything just like ranked, except for you can't take the radar out because there's no radar in ranked, which I'm fine with. I need to get better at more acclimated to that because I'm used to not running because I don't want to show up on the radar. And in rank, there's no radar, so I should really just be running a lot more than I am. But anyway, do that and just keep practicing like that because there's no scoreboard. It doesn't end until you quit it, and just keep practicing like that. You will get bodied in the beginning, but you'll get used to it. And then once you start to body the Spartan bots, you got it. So like that's what that stuff is for, you know.
Yeah.
Ryman says my KD is probably 0.33.
I see lower.
I have seen lower from some. I almost for some very famous people.
You just want to just tell on people.
Hey, no, this is not anybody in the community. This is actually. Let me.
Well,
okay,
if it's not somebody in the community, it doesn't matter.
It matters, man.
Yeah, it does kind of. I just wanted you to say it.
I'll say it.
Oh, well, go ahead.
I'll say who it is.
Who is it? Oh. Wait, is there actual KD that, or is there running KD that?
What do you mean running?
Like
KD?
is their KD overall a point lower than a 0.33, or are they playing like a 0.33?
No, that's what their KD is.
Yeah. Well, who is it then? I need to know this. I need to know who I need to not play with if I want to. Who?
Phil Spencer.
What? Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer. P3 out here running with a 0.33?
Bruh.
What is it, 0.24?
Bruh. It's a 0.33,
man. Hold on, man.
It might be a 0.36. It's a 0.3 something.
I gotta go look, Phil Smith. Oh, shout out to the people in the chat right now that's looking at my profile because it was show. You know how when you go to Destiny, when you go to Halo Tracker or even Destiny Tracker, it shows how many people viewed your profile.
Yeah,
it was at 46. It's at 51 now.
Oh wow!
So yeah, shout out to you guys for going out there checking.
Probably all me. I got 36 views. I think that's all me. Just
checking it all the time.
just seeing where it is after I play. But no,
P3.
Look, man. Look, I didn't.
It's all right.
Look.
Phil Spencer.
He got things to do.
He does.
He's a busy man. He can't be out here trying to be.
0.34. 84 kills, 247 deaths.
God,
that's a lot of deaths.
How many matches does he have? Maybe he can recover this.
Maybe he can. He has a lot of matches.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he has a lot of matches. 53 people have looked at his profile. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. 3.
Wow, you up there with Phil Spencer, man.
Yeah. I know.
But no,
he ain't got that. He can recover. He's only got like 14
He's
matches.
got 23 matches.
Yeah, he doesn't have he can recover that.
Okay, this is Phil. This is what we need you to do, Phil. Okay. We need you to buckle down. All right. Forget, your meetings, forget traveling to talk to publishers or potential developers you guys want to acquire. Nah, delegate that on to other people. This is important, Phil. You got to get this KD up, man. You need to get in there. You need to get on grinding, go in there, kill people, make them afraid of P3. I need you to be talking trash to people, saying I can deactivate your gamer tag right now. I need you to go in there and really let them know who you are. And Phil Spencer is not a 0.34.
Great reminder says Phil Spencer playing on the phone with no thumbs. Stop it. Hey.
Oh, you know what? Hold on.
What
if he was testing
out? What'd you say?
What if he was testing stuff out?
He might have. He was playing
it on xCloud on his phone.
Listen.
With a razor.
Ramon Terrell gave a good point. He said, well, Phil Spencer has an excuse. He's running a corporation.
That's what I said. That's why I said, the man can't put that kind of work in that others can. He busy out here trying to run a business.
Plus, he still play Destiny every day too. So,
that's probably part of the problem.
God. I haven't
You
played
know how
Destiny in
to
almost
take a
2
shot.
weeks. It's
You
it's
know,
it's like
hmm,
can't believe it. It's been 2 weeks since I booted up Destiny.
don't it feel good?
It does.
Yeah. See, there you go. Just keep it
I don't know
going.
how long it's gonna last.
Well, but it should last forever.
To December 8th, maybe. That's about it.
Is that what Destiny content comes out?
That's when the 30th anniversary stuff comes out.
Okay. Oh, but real quick before we transition out of this,
Yeah.
let's talk about this new event and
Oh
some
yeah,
of
yeah.
some of the criticisms I've seen already, and I share some of them. One, I can't stand Fiesta. I've
Mm.
never liked Fiesta. Now I do like Gun Game and Splitgate, which is basically Fiesta. It's called Gun Game. But I like the way Gun Game is designed, even though it's a copy of Fiesta. I like the way it's designed. Fiesta right now, man, look, I don't know these weapons, man.
It just
They be
reminds
giving
you
me
how bad they
weapons.
are in some
Yeah,
cases.
yes, some of these weapons, like there's a huge discrepancy in the value of these weapons. The BR, great. The
Great.
AR, great. The pistol, great. Sniper rifle, great. Basically, all the human
Human weapons
weapons,
are all great.
great. All the Covenant weapons, doo doo. Doo doo Slurpees. Okay, they're
Slurpees.
terrible. And like every time I get one of these Covenant weapons, I don't even know what it do. I'm just looking at it like, what? Do I shoot this? From which end? Like I don't understand what this thing is. And I'm just like I'm uncomfortable. And I'm just like, can you just give me a BR, please? Can you just give me an AR? Can you give me weapons that I'll even take the commando with this trash recoil? Give me anything but this daggone pistol that even the grunts shoot. And I'm just like, yo, come on, man. So that's my issue with Fiesta. But the other thing that people are complaining about is the actual battle pass for the event. So have you looked at that in detail?
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
it's 30
have you
levels.
have you played any of it?
I played a little, like 2 matches or 3 matches.
Okay, well, if you play 2 more matches, you don't need to play Fiesta no more for the rest of the day.
Oh, is it only 5? You only have to play 5 a day, and is that all it
Okay,
does?
so you know how like they have rotating challenges. Like
Yes.
you complete your challenges, they'll give you more. Like you never really run out of challenges. But you can run out of the event challenges. So in your challenges list, you'll see your typical weekly challenges, and then you'll see like with like a red bookmark or something.
Mhm.
These are the event challenges. So I did probably about 4 matches, and after 4 matches, I had completed all of the event challenges, and I didn't get no more.
Hmm.
And I was at level 4, and I was, like, excited because 'cause I'm thinking, like, I beat one more challenge, and I can get that samurai armor.
Mhm.
But now Imma have to wait till tomorrow, and so the thing is only 7 days.
Mhm.
So if you do the math there, if you could only do a certain number of challenges. Okay, Berg Brizzle says, "That's not true, they come back." Berg, I waited. I didn't get no new challenges. So if that is okay, so Burke says he's got the samurai armor. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. That's fine. But maybe they have a bug because after I was done with my like doing 4 and I thought I was done with all my challenges, I played with other people who still hadn't done the event and were wanting to get their time in. I'm playing with them. I didn't get any more challenges. So I'm just like, where are the challenges at? Because that's not happening. So if they are supposed to come back, then there's a bug, and I just never got more challenges anymore. Regardless, that's something that needs to be fixed. But
Right.
yeah, if they come back, it's fine, then it's not a big deal. But when we were playing in the party, we were a little like, because it wasn't just me actually; it was other people that was just like, "Yo, I'm not getting any more challenges." Taz was with us at one point, and Taz was like, "I'm not getting no more challenges." And then and he was still playing with me as I was finishing my challenges, and then I didn't get any more. So I don't know. Maybe they have an issue they gotta get worked out. There's a lot of little things they need to get worked out before the launch of this game.
I guess it is a
But
beta.
Right. But yeah, I'm just yeah, not too enthused with the event. I'm doing it because I want the cosmetics that's in it, even though they had the audacity to separate out one shoulder pad from another. Like you get one shoulder pad at like rank 15 and another shoulder pad at rank 20. I'm like, are
I
you
saw that.
serious? So whatever, right? It is what it is. But yeah, I'll check in tonight once the show is over, and if I get more challenges back, then I'll go do them and get my samurai armor because that's what I want. But yeah, I would have been had it with all the Fiesta matches that I was doing earlier today. And for some reason, just after doing like completing 4 challenges, they just never came back. So it was weird.
Oh, he said
My
you
bad.
just complete regular challenges and they come back. He said him and Kofi both got their armor.
Okay. Look, I had this one match where I actually leveled up a lot today. I went from level 21 to 26 today.
Dang, you
And
definitely played a lot today.
I really didn't even play that much. Probably played for like
Well,
2 or 3 hours.
I think today had like some of the biggest challenges though. Like when I looked at it, it was like all the challenges with the exception of the repeatable one, just playing a
Mhm.
match was like 250 or higher.
Oh, let's talk about that for real quick because you saw my video. I had
It was a good
my
video.
suggestion. Thank you. My suggestion to further mitigate this issue with battle pass progression is to add more persistent challenges that never go away. So they added one where you just get 50 experience just for playing a multiplayer match, which is fine, but to level up is 1,000 experience. And you're only given 50.
That
That's
means you
all.
need
That
20 games.
you play 20 matches minimum to level up. So I think it's a bit unfair if someone, let's say
And if you just
you and
want to
I.
play ranked. That's where I'm at right now. Like I was playing, I've been playing nothing but rank,
Mhm.
and none of the challenges can be done in ranked. I mean, well, some of them could, like if you
Really?
well, they don't put some of the weapons in there. Like they got the mangler. I don't see it ever in a ranked
Oh
match,
yeah.
so I can't
Yeah.
get it. It's not since
That's one of my weekly challenges too. I gotta get one more kill with the
get
mangler,
with a
and just like
mangler, and then
I haven't seen a mangler in like 5 matches.
and then big team battle is like one is complete a big team battle match, and then another one is grapple, not grapple, it was something that you had to do inside of not a com match, but a big team battle match. And I'm not playing big team battle. It's not like that all the time, but the ones that really get me are the weapon ones, because when you're playing ranked, you only have the BR, and then it's sometimes the weapons are spread out. Like mostly you'll see either a plasma pistol or a needler. You might come across the commando and stuff every once in a while, but it's not the full suite of weapons compared to like playing quick play.
Yeah. But it's just what was I about to say? Oh yeah. So like my suggestion is that you should start like, and this is like a actual like kill 2 birds with 1 stone kind of deal.
Right.
To get people more experience to rank up quicker in the battle pass progression. Because it's like there's no reason for this, especially when the stuff you got in the store isn't even in the battle pass. So it's not like giving people more battle pass progression is going to affect whether people are going to buy skins from the store or not, because the skins aren't in the battle pass, right? So to have people hopefully not have people quit because they feel like they aren't progressing.
Yeah, that's definitely
Make it at least 1 or 2 additional persistent challenges that are always there, where it's like if you win, you get like 100 experience. So in addition to getting 50 for playing a match, you get 100 for winning a match. So that's 150. And so if you're winning, so it's like now this is where the dual benefit comes into place, because the other problem that's going on right now is that people are not playing the objective at all. People are playing the what's my KD game. That's what they're playing. All they care about is getting kills. No one's playing not no one, but there's a lot of people that aren't playing the objective and not even attempting to. And there's and why not? Because if you lose, yeah, your lose percentage, your loss percentage is I mean your win percentage is real low, but it's not ranked.
It's not
In
ranked.
quick play, no one cares about that. There's no like negative to losing, and you don't lose any kind of like rank or anything like that, but you don't gain anything either. And
Right.
so if there's no incentive to win, like people care about winning in ranked because it's a part of your rank. Like you rank up by winning. So therefore, people care about capturing the flag, bringing it back, doing the right things, getting all the controlling the majority of the control points and strongholds. They care about that because that's the purpose and the benefit in ranked to winning. There is no benefit to winning in quick play and big team battle. So in order to get people more engaged, you're going to have to add that in there and have a persistent challenge where, hey, you won. Here's an additional 100. And so now people are like, yeah, I'm going to get 50 just for playing the match, but I could get 150. And this could get people closer to some of the stuff that they see at like level 84, fire coming off the top of their helmet. Hey, that's level 99.
Right.
I need to get there. And then not have to worry about, maybe financially they may be like, well, we want people to buy them levels.
I know a lot
Because
of
I've
people
seen
that
a
have
few
done it.
people already.
I see people do it too.
Yeah, I've seen people with the helmet with the skull on it from Halo Reach.
Well, less than 0.10, less than a 0.1% have completed the battle pass if you look at the achievement.
And every single one of them that have done that have bought their way there.
Oh yeah. There's no way you did it in time. You haven't done it that way.
But that's the philosophy. If you go back to what EA did, and the reason why EA at one point was forcing all the developers to put microtransactions and multiplayer into their games, even BioWare, a single player RPG studio, was because they had noticed that even though it was detrimental to the game to force these elements in, that there were these whales. And these whales, that's their term. A whale is somebody that is going to spend an exuberant amount of money on your game.
Right.
Everyone else is spending $60, $70, whatever, and that's it. Maybe if you have more traditional microtransactions where there's like $5 for some armor or something like that, you'll get some people who will spend that money. But primarily, people are buying the game, and that's all the money that they intend to spend on your game, and that's all they're going to spend on your game.
Right.
These whales buy everything. They need everything. I remember one time in particular, and this is probably really hurt BioWare the most. Mass Effect 3, EA had noticed one particular account has spent over like $10,000 in microtransactions in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And for them, that was like, so that one guy is worth, like, do the math, 10,000 divided by 6, it's by 60. That's what that one guy is worth to them. So it's worth it to them to put that kind of stuff in there. Even though the 99% of the player base hates it and hates that EA did it, they making more money of it because the 1% is spending 1,000% more than you are in the game. And so that's where the math comes from, even though it sucks balls. And it's just like, it is what it is. So this is part of how this works, man. Like, this is what the free to play model. It's free to play. But all the great stuff that you really want to engage in costs some money. And then initially you're like, well, I got this game for free. I'm having fun. what's $10? I'll go ahead and spend $10 on this game. I did that. I did that with Halo Infinite. Like it's free. But I want that battle pass. I spent $10. Hey, only spent $10, but that Cloud9 skin, it's calling my name. So I spent another $10. Hey, everybody else bought the more premium battle pass where they got 25 additional levels. And I bought the peasant one where all I got was the battle pass with no levels. I'm sitting over here at level 6.
I did the same thing. I swear I bought the bigger one, but I was so excited to get back into the game and play it. When I bought it, I saw, because one says premium battle pass, the other one says premium battle pass bundle, and I didn't see the bundle because I would have bought that one, and you would have instantly got those 25 levels right off the bat.
Right, and so because I missed that, I had to buy that. Yeah, well, I did it separately then. So what I did was I just bought the $10 and whatever $10 is worth in currency, and then I took that and I just went into each level and used the credits that I had built up off that $10 that I used, and just got that and got myself up to like level 20. And so that's the way it is worked. I've already spent $30 in this game.
I spent 50.
And God knows how much I will spend if I see another skin I like. But that's how the free-to-play model works.
Yeah.
It looks free up front. They make more money in free-to-play models than for pay models all the time.
Right.
And this is regardless, and I agree with everyone that was like, yo, this is not what 343 said they were going to do. In a blog in December of last year, they were talking real nice about how they don't like to treat people these ways, and we want people to play the game their way. We don't want to feel like you're forced to play the game. I'm not forced. I don't feel like I'm forced to play the game. I want to play the game because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But that said, like, if someone else kind of feels like I like playing the game, but I really want that, well, it's at level 84 to get it. So you either gotta spend the money to get it, or you're gonna have to grind them levels out.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's frustrating. But at the same time, it's the model that I knew they would end up going to, regardless of what they said. So. Yeah, I don't know how long we've been on the show, but we've been just.
We're just having a conversation, man.
Gregor said, "Lord help Slow-Mo's wallet if they add skins with knee braces, bro." Shout out to Gregor, man. That's funny.
Shout out to Gregor, man.
Rodiman said, today's show is called "Hell with the Topics." We talking Halo. Yeah. Hey, look.
These like we were talking, because I even shout out to Slow-Mo, because Slow-Mo was like, we can talk about this and that, because I was like, listen, man, ain't nothing going on. If we wanted to call it an executive decision and say we just do the show next week, but then Slow-Mo was like, no, we can do one. I was like, yeah. And then we started talking about topics, and I was like, oh yeah, we could definitely do a show. And then it just devolved into us talking about Halo, because that's all we pretty much been doing all week. Basically. But no, I didn't say. I am I hit well, you already know I hit Platinum 2, Gold 6 in the other playlist, but I was at 1.25. Yeah, in the open. Yeah. So 1.25. And man, let me tell you, it's so frustrating. And I ain't afraid to say it. My KD was garbage. Like garbage. Like
you first
started. It was just terrible because everything was just off for me. It's like it was just terrible. I was like a 1.87 when I first started. So it then when I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this. And I get very aggressive when I'm playing and stuff, so it's kind of like counterintuitive when it comes to playing like a lot of the different game modes in Halo. So that compounds the situation, and then going into ranked games solo, compounds it even more because you get on a bad team, then it's pretty much a farm fest on your KD at that point. So, but I feel good that I got it back up to 2.5, but I kind of want to get it to like a 1. I mean, 1.5, 1.2. I want to get up to like a 1.4, 1.5 before maybe by the end of this month. Hopefully, I can do it, but. It's cool that everybody's enjoying the game. That's the one thing that I like to hear from people the most. But
Yeah, yeah, and look, it's I'll say what I said in the video. Is Halo Infinite the best multiplayer shooter to come out in 2021? I'm gonna say yeah.
yeah, I
My
agree.
in my personal opinion, absolutely. And this is I haven't played Call of Duty, so I don't care. I never care about Call of Duty, so whatever, right? If you're a Call of Duty head and you're like, well, I think COD's better, fine. You know, you've played both, you feel COD's better, that's cool for you. But for me, I've played Battlefield 2042. It's all right. It doesn't provide me what Halo provides me. And I can very easily just hit the hit the back button and see the leaderboard. I can't
At
do
least
that
you can see
Battlefield.
the leaderboard in something like
Like,
Halo, where in Battlefield there is no leaderboard.
yeah, like what is
I was
going
like, what
on?
happened? Battlefield has always had a leaderboard, but I was like, you hit the back button, there's no leaderboard. It's like they're afraid to let people know that, hey, half the team isn't playing the objective, so we're not even going to show you the leaderboard. I don't know, man,
Um,
but it's cool. It's interesting. It's fun. I'm loving. Man. I said in my video, I truly love this game, and I see people nitpicking it and stuff like that, and people saying like, because a lot of people are saying, well, how could it be the best, one of the like so fun where it's missing a bunch of features. I'm not saying that it's not bare bones. The game
yeah,
the
it
game
is bare
itself is
bones,
very bare bones. It's literally the
but that has
most,
nothing to do with fun.
nothing to do with it. Exactly.
Yeah, what's fun is how solid the gunplay is. The game design, the maps are good for the most part. I know earlier I did a lot of complaining about 2 maps in particular, but there are like 12 maps. So if I'm really only complaining about 2 maps, what does that mean for the other 10 maps? That means that they're good or I like them. And so, like you gotta put things into perspective. And when it comes to comparing this game to other shooters that have come out this year, for some people, you could say Splitgate is one of that, even though Splitgate came out 2 years ago. For me and for many other people, this year was the first time they ever engaged in Splitgate. And I'm sorry, but I love me some Splitgate. Halo Infinite multiplayer is better.
Yeah, I agree.
So is what it is. And shout out to 1047 Games. I can't wait to get back into Splitgate once they start dropping more content. They got that 10 million
Yeah,
loan for funding.
that fusion of
Yeah,
cash.
right. So like that's something they've never had before. And I'm excited to see what they can do with additional resources and a bigger team to really help them reach the kind of like uh goals that they have for their game, but
Yeah.
can't beat a 500 million budget from
Yeah.
Microsoft. So
All
it's
right.
what it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. So let's an hour in after talking about Halo for so long. Let's talk about the first thing and
Well,
pretty.
these other topics ain't gonna take too long
Yeah,
anyway. But
none of
go
these.
ahead, yo.
Yeah, we'll probably circle back and come back to Halo at some point about some more stuff. But Xbox Back Compat, the final list has been revealed. A lot of games are on that list. A lot of it also includes a bunch of games that are getting the FPS treatment. One
Mhm.
game, and I saw Dealer playing it. Well, not playing it, but I saw him tweet about it earlier today. Was the Ultimate Edition of the original Gears of War, which is actually an Xbox One game, but it was still only running at the 30 frames per second. But they got the FPS boost, and it looked really, really good. Just and that was already a very aesthetically pleasing looking game. But
Mm.
what do we think about the final list? What do we think about Xbox's commitment to back compat in general? Do you think that there's more that they should add? Is there something missing? What is your thoughts of just that feature in general for Xbox.
I think they've done all they can, and I know there are some people that are like, "Yo, what is up with what is up with them um bringing up licensing issues and saying that they're done?" But look, uh, original Xbox was only around for 3 years, and it could have gone for longer, but they shut it down when they came out with 360. They shut it down. Um, 360 successful console, but didn't get all the games that well, they got majority of the games because they were the multi-plat leader
Right.
at that time. But at some point, you run out of games. And if you listen to what Jason Ronald said about talking about licensing and trying to get games, and some certain things fall through, some developers don't exist anymore.
Right.
So the path to get that game brought out on current gen with FPS boost and auto HDR and all that other stuff, like there's just no path forward because there's no one to speak to. I kind of feel like one of my favorite games on original Xbox is a little known game called Death Row. It was actually kind of like a sports game. The premise is that in the future, prisoners are forced into like these tournaments where it's like a combination of soccer and MMA, where you have to get a ball into like a goal or a ring that's floating in the air on one side of the map, but like you have a whole team that's trying to stop you. And what you can do to the other player to either get them out of your way or to stop them is pretty freaking brutal. I mean, you could, and what I loved about it was that if somebody broke your leg, you can call in a substitute to get that person out. But you have to do that. If you don't do that, you'll see that player limping around with a broken leg across the map, trying to play, still trying to help your team win. And it's just like that level of realism I thought was cool. But that game, there's no path forward for Crackdown. I said Crackdown, my bad. Death Row. There's no path forward for it's probably no path forward for Crackdown either now you think about it. But anyway, that game's dead. The dev that made that game doesn't exist anymore. So that's why that game doesn't exist in backwards compatibility with FPS boost and auto HDR. It just doesn't. No, there's nothing to do there. There's no emulation. Try to get 4K, even with whack, outdated, old textures. None of that. None of that. And so that's just an example of where they're at with this stuff. You're not getting any more because there's nothing else to give you.
Right.
If it hasn't been done already, there's either the dev don't exist no more, or the developer slash publisher is trying to sell a version of that game to you that's going to have those additional features, but they're going to make you pay for it. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the same thing especially when you said that game, and shout out to Erodimus. He said he needs to play that game again too. I do agree. At a certain point, the well's going to run dry when it comes to a lot of the stuff that they could bring. I think for the most part, they started out the program the right way, where they were having fans vote on Xbox Wire for the games that they wanted to be considered to be backwards compatible, because like you said, they had to go back and get the licensing and stuff from the developer to be able to do that, because those games aren't natively Xbox One games or Xbox Series X games. So that's always kind of been the situation when it comes to that. But I know there's a lot of games out there, like some people probably, just for nostalgic reasons, they want them to bring certain games and stuff. Me personally, I just always looked at it like, hey, over the course of the last generation, games come and go, especially like we got a service called Game Pass and stuff now. I don't think that that's the complete end of backwards compatibility. I think that's just the end of the compatibility that they're willing to work on at the moment that what we got going on with this system right now. But there's really no games that are missing out of that feature set that I would be like, oh, I gotta have that game. I need that game. I was playing Max Payne recently because they just added that to it, and that game is very, very enjoyable. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, shoot, that's a really, really old game." But then again, it's just about games, just playing games that you enjoy, games that you miss. I know Slow Mo, you played what was the name of the game? Mass Effect. How many different times did you play Mass Effect through backwards compatibility? I know you played it on PC too, right? But did you play it through
So let's see
back
here.
compat before it got
If
moved
I
over?
counted, if I counted all together, I used to play through the entire trilogy once a year. So it's a little late, and I don't feel like doing the math, but you could probably think about how many times that is. A lot. And I now currently now I have the game on. I have the Legendary Edition on every platform that I own right now. I got it on Xbox when they did the N7 day and they had like the massive sale for the Legendary Edition is when I bought it on Xbox. At launch, I bought it on PS5 and I bought it on my PC. And I haven't finished through the full trilogy yet, which is the first time in a long time that I haven't just burned through it immediately. But I'm close. I'm close to the end of 3 on PlayStation, and I'm in the middle of 2 on PC, and I'm in the very beginning on Xbox. But I love those games. I kind of feel like, and I've said this before, whenever it's the conversation has come up about backwards compatibility and how beneficial it is, and certain fanboys will downplay it because it's what they feel they have to do for their brand or whatever. But also, on the flip side, is that you'll get fanboys on the other side that will be acting like it's the greatest thing in the world, and people are like, "But what about new games?"
Right.
And so, it's crazy. I think everyone has a particular game that it doesn't matter how many times they've played it, if it just feels great to play. It's like coming home after a long day of work and taking your shoes off.
Right.
It's just great. And the Mass Effect trilogy is that for me. The Dragon Age games are that for me. Knights of the Old Republic is that for me. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Those
those are one thing.
Chrono Trigger is that for me. Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
played that a lot. I listened to you talk about Chrono Trigger is the one game you will spend $1,000 on if they actually put a price on it.
yeah, but they did a remake. Yeah, absolutely. Funny. I mentioned that because I got into a heated debate with Chrono Cross fans who won't just admit that Chrono Trigger is the superior RPG. But shout out to them and their triggered selves on Twitter,
You know they're not gonna.
upset.
They're never gonna do that, Slow Mo. Never, ever.
But no, what do you think about like them being done with the backup hat list for now? Because honestly, I kind of feel like
I think it's
they're
going
gonna have to open this up at some point again as we
right.
get further into newer generations. But yeah, what do you think?
I think in general that like you said, they did everything they could do with it at the point of emphasis right now. It will come back at some point, I do believe. Just knowing that Xbox games are always going to be something that goes forward with you going forward. I just think as of right now, the well is just super dry on really 360 games that really can hold a lot of people's attention. That, like I said, they pretty much brought forward a lot of the games that already were household names that people wanted to play. Or if they aren't games that they brought up the backwards compatibility, there's an Xbox One version that was made so they didn't have to do that. So at this point, it really just comes down to, as time goes on, we'll see more and more games that technically are not part of that backwards compatibility suite. You'll start seeing those games like migrating themselves. more and more as we get further and further the generations. In a minute, you'll start seeing a bunch of Xbox One games getting migrated over because those games are going to be the new, the new entry point for what backwards compatibility is. I think they're just basically telling us that Xbox One or Xbox Original or Xbox 360, yeah, we're pretty much at wit's end when it comes to bringing those games forward. So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good idea to basically just move on from what we got now to what's going on in the future.
Yep. We
Uh
can move on.
yeah, I mean, so he said you can move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
All
ain't
right.
got much to
So
say about
Jason
it.
Ronalds, he was on the Iron Lords podcast on Sunday. Really get interviewed by the homies over there, Sov and King, Attic, and Sovereign. They always do an amazing job when it comes to their interviews and stuff. And this is like the second or third
Shout
time he's
out to
been
them.
like the second or third time he's been a part of their podcast. So he a lot of good access that they get when you're actually nice people and people would like to actually sit down and talk to you about things. And that's something that a lot of people in this community can learn from. But he talked about they asked him a particular question about game DVR and about achievements and platinum equivalents, something like how Sony has in the future. And in general, this isn't a big topic, but it's something that I wanted to talk about because Xbox started this whole achievement thing. They started this whole DVR. I mean, well, Xbox and PlayStation, they kind of started it in conjunction with each other,
Mm-hmm.
but Xbox has woefully fallen behind when it comes to their offerings, especially in the DVR. Achievements, you can say how you want. They've pretty much been the same since 360, but they just haven't evolved themselves like I feel like PlayStation trophies have, or just the fact that there's a trophy that says, hey, this game, you 100%ed it, and you get this shiny little trophy that goes next that is count separately outside of your, overall gamer credentials and stuff. So he talked about it and he was like, they in general are they seen the feedback when it comes to a lot of people really wanting to have like the DVR function the way it needs to function. And they said they put some really good updates in there over the course of the last year. But they didn't really get a chance to do as much as they wanted to do over the course of the last generation when it comes to the game DVR. And I definitely want to ask you, especially just with the DVR front first, what is your thoughts on just the Xbox DVR? What do you think about the situation when it comes to that and how they handle it versus how Sony has handled it over the course of the last generation?
Well, I feel like needs to be a very detailed explanation on why this hasn't worked. Ever since the generation started, and I although I don't no longer have an Xbox One X, I kind of heard that the One X, like with an update, that one is kind of broken too. Like ever
Oh, it
since the new
is.
consoles came out, so whatever there's something software related with it that is making it buggy and inconsistent. And look, I know what that's like. Not personally, because I haven't used it ever since I built my PC and started doing all of my recordings through PC, like OBS or using Shadow Play through GeForce Experience, which is excellent when it works.
Mm-hmm.
But I know what it's like when you get a firmware update, and now how you used to record gameplay is completely broken now. But the fact that this is like, I expect those kind of things on PC, and I expect that I can send some feedback to the creators of these programs, or in the case of my case with that, Nvidia.
Mm-hmm.
But on consoles, you're not expected to troubleshoot and come up with a workaround for these things. You have you want a closed environment because you suspect stuff to work.
Right.
And so when last generation you had a feature that worked just fine, And now here we are in the new generation, and it no longer works. Has never really worked at all that good since the launch of the consoles. And here we are a year later, and it's still not fixed. No, there needs to be a explanation, a detailed explanation of where this failed and why this still isn't working the way it is, and what the solution is to fix it. It's unfortunate that it is kind of the way it is, but there's nothing else you guys can do about it.
Yeah. When I look at it, especially when it comes to the DVR, I was a starch DVR user. Like, I still have a lot of the original files uploaded to Xbox Live on the server of me making Battlefield videos, or for Battlefield 4 or Killer Instinct videos. And I remember I have one video where me and my whole family was sitting on the couch, and it was New Year's Eve, and it was like 10 minutes before New Year. So I literally made a video and was all sitting on the couch with the Connect, and we was like, shout out to Xbox Live, blah 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 blah, and Happy New Year. We were like Ultra Combo, and then we had Django on the screen doing one of his finishers and stuff, and it was cool. And that was where my love for, like, honestly, that's where my love for video making came from, because it was just cool to just see you could just make something out of nothing when it came to just the overall organization of the system and stuff. And it was cool then, but guess what? It's the same thing that it was in 2013.
No change.
Nothing different. So all of those things that I loved about the DVR back in 2013, that was awesome and amazing, guess what? It's all still the same. There's been no changes to it. There's been no evolution to it. They added features like when Twitter became a huge platform, they allowed you to be able to tweet your stuff straight to Twitter. And for
that took a while to happen, and
Play
PlayStation
had
was
it for
doing
so
that a long time before they finally did it.
Right. So
how about you used to be able to go live on Twitch through
you still
Xbox?
Can't. You still could. They just hit it.
No. It used to be just you would just hit a button, and then you would hit another, and you could pull up. You could dual screen the Twitch overlay, and then just go live.
Yeah. They still have that. It's just
no, they took the way you would do it out.
Oh, they took the way. They took that out.
The easy shortcuts to get to that. They took that out.
They took that out
when they bought Mixer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what they did. They, like I said, inherently, it's still, you can still stream through Twitch, but yeah, the ease of use that it used to be is definitely not the case anymore. So you're right.
And the wild thing to me was that, like, you did a disservice to the Xbox community, because there were people who had platforms on Twitch that don't care about Mixer.
Yep.
And this was their easy method without having to buy a PC to go live and engage with their platform, their community on the platform. And you made it more difficult to do that, to promote Mixer that had nothing to do with them. And then when you shut Mixer down, you didn't re-implement the Twitch the Twitch integration stuff. So it's just like things like that are, I don't know whose wheelhouse that's in, but the ball has been dropped multiple times when it comes to that kind of stuff in the community. And how it's affected the community in itself. So they got to do better with that, especially the DVR. The DVR needs to get fixed ASAP.
Yeah, the DVR itself is just a problem. They need to fix that. So I think we're in agreement on that, and I think a lot of people in the chat. While we're moving on to the next thing, tell us in the chat, have you made anything interesting inside of the DVR? If you're on PlayStation, have you ever used theirs is PlayStation, what is theirs called? PlayStation Share Factory.
Share Factory, yeah. I heard Share Factory is pretty good.
Well, shoot, if you ever looked at a King Thrash video,
Yeah, he does everything through Share Factory.
Share Factory, so I think in general, that's something that a lot of people look forward to. So, have you made anything interesting that you want to share with the community? Let us know, because I think that is something that I would definitely would like to share on Twitter if you actually have something available. Now the other half of that conversation was him talking about achievements,
Hey,
and
real quick.
you go ahead.
George Alvernia says that a new update. I guess this is like super recently, but a new update just fixed Twitch streaming on console. Kiss Move has a video about it. That's cool. I'm glad that happened. But when did Mixer go down?
It's like earlier this year, way earlier this year.
Or was that last
No,
year?
it was late. Yeah, it was late last year. So it's been over a year. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right.
That's yeah. That they should have had a smoother transition to getting that working again. And then now it's like you re-implement something that people have already found a method to basically do what they were doing before without your Twitch integration. So now you're gonna have less people who will convert back over to doing that. And then now it's like a cycle. You're gonna get like executives saying, "So what was the purpose of us doing this?" When
Mm-hmm.
X amount of people use it, and it's not the majority, but you had a lot more people using it than initially before you did your screw ups. It's just not getting into it. Go ahead, man. You were saying.
No, yeah. But yeah, going into the second half of the conversation, he also talked about achievements and talk about trophy equivalents and stuff like that. Now they did say there was that was another one of the hot button topics that a lot of people in the community were asking for. But they didn't have anything to share on that. But they did say that was something they were working on and implementing. When it comes to achievement, I mean, I know you're not the biggest achievement hunter, but there is a lot of people we do
Not at
talk
all.
yeah, we do
Yeah.
talk about how people's need to, be able to, you know, verify what people are playing and what they have played and stuff. And I think the achievement system being the way that it is kind of bland for Xbox. It's been bland for quite some time. What is your thoughts on maybe them actually sprucing it up and giving, something that can actually be more, not say exactly what PlayStation is doing, but something in line to that type of experience?
I've heard some good, interesting solutions to this, some of which I think they'll never do. For example, there's one solution I've heard where it they would take your gamer score and you can convert it into like digital credit or
Yeah,
Microsoft Store credit, and then use that to say get more months of Game Pass or get a game and yada yada yada. I don't think it's an interesting idea that I don't think will work because one, Microsoft will never do that. Well, that's one I don't think. Two, um, I think there would be people who will feel like I'm proud of my achievement number. I don't want my achievement number to go down so I could buy the next Call of Duty, right?
right,
So there's that kind of sentiment. Although when I did hear some of that pushback, I did say a workaround could be that you would have your real gamer tag and then what your like adjusted gamer tag number is after you've used some parts of your number to get credits to get a game or something like that. I think it's just there's too many moving parts to that, and people will get confused and it would just be too much trouble for what it's worth. But I can't really think of anything that would be like a way to really because like I said, I'm not like you said, I'm not an achievement hunter. Like this is what I do is I play a game and I may platinum it or 100% it if like just by organically playing the game, I get to like over 90%
right,
on achievements, or I get to, within a trophy or two of getting the platinum. At that point, all right, let me go look at the hidden trophy information here and see what I need to do to get this platinum real quick. Oh, that's it? All right, collect some
right,
backpacks. Let's go. Like it's things like that, right? So for me, I don't really care if they add anything new or not. I'm not even one of these guys that's always checking people's gamer tags and PSN IDs. I don't care that much. I care to the point that I want to make sure that you're not capping about something that you never played or against something that you're hating on that you never played.
Right.
But I don't care enough where there are people that like, oh, well, you have 50K achievement points and I got 95K. I'm a better gamer than you kind of talk. That's when I'm just like, all right, y'all are tripping. That's not how this works, and that's not how what that was implemented for. And anyone who has been in gaming long enough knows that if you play a ton of games, then you're going to have a higher score. Period.
Yep.
If you play one game and you play that one game like 10 times more, like in hours, so you doubled the amount of hours played in that one game than the other person that played like 6 games a week, you're going to have a much lower achievement score. And that goes for trophies. It goes for all of it because it's all based upon playing a bunch of games. And not everyone's going to do that. That doesn't make them any less of a gamer or a hardcore gamer. It's just how they choose to engage in gaming. If they are just comfortable with a few games and not jumping on the latest and greatest, then so be it. And so, yeah, I'm kind of just rambling at this point. My bad.
No,
But
you're not rambling. I mean, you're kind of telling the truth when it comes to that type of stuff, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much really can go into all that.
yeah, I just kind of feel like they could add. They might need to add something that has nothing to do with achievement points whatsoever. So maybe it's like, or maybe it's like an aside to achievement points, where if you do, because then you would need the developers to get involved. I was gonna say if you like do something that's exclusive to Xbox, like you go to a certain area and do something in a game that has nothing to do with the achievements or trophies of the game, but you'll get like a different kind of credit with Xbox. You would still the devs would need to implement that themselves, and clearly what they've done with FPS boost, auto HDR, their emulation method of bringing up the resolution for these older games and stuff like that, that they're not really concerned with trying to get the developer in on doing any work because they know that's a losing battle, and the devs got enough stuff on their plate to not be doing free labor for Microsoft. So this just not going to happen. So they need to come up with something, but I have no idea what they could do.
Yeah. For achievements, I always looked at it as the whole, turning your achievements into like currency and stuff. I always thought that was an amazing idea that they probably that you would think they would be willing to do, because it's not like Game Pass isn't something like that at this point. Game Pass is literally.
But then here's the flip to that, right?
Yeah.
Because all right, so here's a great example of this, and okay, because I saw someone bring up the fact that you can use Bing rewards,
Yeah, you
to
can.
pay for Game Pass, and
You
they're like, well, so
can.
what's the difference between playing games and getting, taking your achievement points from completing games and getting achievements to pay for Game Pass than Bing rewards? Well, here's the difference. Microsoft can't monetize you playing the game. They may be able to use you as a statistic as they go to other developers and publishers to convince them to put their games on Game Pass sooner. But the big difference here is that the reason why they give you like enough, whatever it is, points, Microsoft points,
Right.
to get to basically get Game Pass for free, is that their data that they're collecting off of the search results you're doing in Bing, the questionnaires you do, all that stuff is being sold to advertisers. Microsoft don't care if you prefer Coca-Cola or Pepsi.
That's true.
But you answered the question, you said Coca-Cola, and now they have data about that data can be provided to Pepsi or Coca-Cola for a fee.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how that works. That Facebook has been doing that. Where you think Facebook became a billionaire from? It's advertising money and selling your data. So that's the name of the game. And that's why they don't mind you using Bing, actually, because no one uses Bing, so they really want you to use Bing to get your search results done. And I gotta give up a few months of Game Pass. Sure, why not? Because I'm making money on it in a different method,
Right.
and that's different. They can't do that if you already bought a game, and and you get points for you're using your achievement points that you achieve through the game to then go buy other games. When is Microsoft going to make money at that point?
Right.
Because they're not making money off of your Game Pass subscription. It's just like,
you're right.
it's
You're right about
difficult
that.
and I think that's the reason why stuff like this hasn't been implemented yet. Because it's difficult to kind of make it worth the while of them while also making it worth the while of us. So
yeah, and in general, I mean, now when you put it that way, people wonder like, man, they're willing to give hundreds of dollars away to the people on Xbox, and you got to think in their monetization, they give you basically a 10% discount. Like if you look at if you go into the rewards or the Microsoft Rewards app on your Xbox right now and click on that, and you can see all the things you can earn points on. You can basically get Battlefield, they give you 6,000 points for, which is basically $6 off the game. Say you buy it digital, you get the discount through EA because you have EA, what's the name? So you get 10% off of it there. So that makes it, instead of the 70, it makes it 63. And then Xbox is turning right around and giving you another $6 off of it, basically because you bought it and you redeemed those points and you got 6,000 points, and that's $6 to go towards your next purchase and stuff. So
right.
that's their
But
that's
that's
their way of
also
doing it.
data that they sold. So like
Exactly.
if part of the points was load up this random indie game,
Yeah.
and for a certain time period, everyone who saw that said, "Well, I want those points." I just downloaded that game and loaded it up and got what I needed from Game Pass, the Microsoft points for that.
Right.
Like that's data they can sell to the publisher or developer. That's data they can sell to another indie developer and say, push your game in Game Pass.
Right.
Do it day and date because X game came out day and date, and look how many downloads we got. So this works. You should definitely do this. Put your game in Game Pass at launch. And so that kind of helps them towards that. And the root of it is all, they gave you some benefits to just load the game up. How much you played it is a whole different story.
Right. Yeah. If like a lot of them are getting an achievement inside of a game and will give you points for it.
Right.
That's long enough for you to, for the advertiser or the person that bought the advertisement to say, well, at least they got a chance to try our game. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a really good subject right there. But, I think coming closer to what PlayStation does with the whole platinum trophy and stuff, and just kind of making that little bit more identifiable across people's platform, because when you go click on somebody's gamer tag, you see how many points they have, but you don't know how many games that is. Like, you don't know how many games that was across and they beat. Whereas on a PlayStation platform, you pull up somebody's profile, first thing that's front and center is their trophy, and next to it is how many platinums they got. And when you
typically beating a game gives you a gold trophy.
Yes.
So if you don't see a gold trophy, you already know they ain't beat that game.
Whereas,
right.
And then I think it's just even more impactful when you see a platinum. That person destroyed that game. They beat that game in every way that you could possibly beat it. So that would be a really good thing for Xbox to finally do. But let's let's talk about this. Let's talk about.
I can't wait.
Let's talk about. I actually went and got while we were sitting here doing this. I actually went and got the footage. So,
hold on, let me stop laughing. Stop laughing. Yeah.
So
Super serious
Spider-Man,
yes,
Spider-Man for
Spider-Man.
Marvel has
finally showing up.
Finally showed up, and oh boy, shout out to the homeboy BG. Shout out to everybody in the community that had a laugh on the expense of Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal D.
So Slowbo, why won't you? Because I know you saw the outrage and everything that was going on. And why won't you? And how people were laughing at this. Why won't you get everybody up to speed about Marvel Spider-Man? Well, Marvel's Avengers Spider-Man, I should say.
So Marvel's Avengers. Marvel's Avengers is being developed by Crystal Dynamics. Came out, it kind of bombed. Square Enix most recently threw Crystal Dynamics under the bus,
pretty much,
on that, instead of just taking the L and realizing maybe you shouldn't have a single player, third person perspective, narrative driven developer make you a looter shooter, but whatever, right? Anyway, before this game launched, it was made known that Spider-Man was exclusive to PlayStation. Now, we all know that Spider-Man, that Marvel Studios, or Marvel Game Studios in particular, and Sony have a very nice relationship. There's two Spider-Man games out on PlayStation, or exclusive to PlayStation platforms now, in addition to getting the Wolverine game coming soon. And all that said, like, Sony wants Spider-Man to be synonymous with PlayStation. When people think Spider-Man in video games, they want people to think PlayStation, which is understandable. And they're spending enough money to try and make that happen. So cool. Now, it was a lot of outrage when people found out that there's one thing that if Insomniac Games is making an exclusive Spider-Man game, it's a whole nother thing when this is the Avengers, which is an ensemble cast of superheroes, and one in particular is not there on the Xbox and PC simply because Sony wants this character to be synonymous with PlayStation. People were saying they were going to boycott and all kinds of other stuff, and I really don't think people did boycott the game. I just think there wasn't enough people that were interested in the gameplay itself. And now, so part of the reason why I did buy this game.
I'm sorry.
Part of the reason why I bought it on Steam, because when they announced that Spider-Man was going to be on the Avengers but only exclusive to PlayStation, I was like, oh man, that's pretty interesting. But big question, when? Really important, when this is going to come out. Never got that answer. Here we are over a year later, and they're now finally showing the Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers, and it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough. And do you have the clip the huh?
It's playing.
No. The edited clip.
Oh.
Spliced together of Spider-Man shooting his web shooter.
Oh no, I saw it. Wait, hold on. Wait, let's go. I can go back through it. It's right here. What he even said it. Shout out to George. George was like, Walmart Spidey. He said he looks out of shape and why he shoot his webs like that.
Yeah, he looked like he ain't fought crime in a little while. He a little retired. He a little out of shape. It looks bad, man. It looks really bad. What you're seeing now, this comic strip, is the only story element that you get of Spider-Man and being introduced into the Avengers, which is very different from the other DLC Avengers that were added, like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Black Panther. They all got story-driven content that was included in them being in the game. And so, right, really,
I thought spider sense meant you didn't get hit.
well, that's probably on the player too.
That's what I'm
but
saying. It's definitely on the player.
but
But slow mo.
think about how short. Think about how shortchanged you are.
He's shooting his foot.
It's so ridiculous. Like,
let me rewind it. He's shooting his web.
People are saying that Spider-Man looked like he's shooting webs like a white woman at a Zumba class. Like he's doing aerobics. Yeah. He's doing aerobics. 1, 2, 3. Like keep pumping. He's got an instructor, aerobics instructor, keeping him going. Burn calories, keep going. It's crazy. And I've never seen Spider-Man look like that before. Like this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, yo.
Listen. Okay, so let's be for real. The reason
we're being for real. This is unacceptable, yo.
You're right. Let's be for real though. The reason this is truly unacceptable is because we have actually had a real Spider-Man game that released, and when you see this, it's like, yo, y'all couldn't get any of the animations from Insomniac.
George says he's doing P90X.
It's terrible. Like, look, man. First of all, the camera too close. The second thing is, look, the Spidey suit look all washed out. Why his Spidey sense look like it's the sun, like the outline of the
webbing?
sun.
Look, what is he webbing?
He's webbing nothing.
Yeah. Now at that part, he's webbing the buildings, but there are other parts where he's just webbing the sky.
Yeah, like right here.
You're just webbing the sky, my guy.
There's nothing there.
The clouds can hold your webs? I don't understand. Like, come on, man. Like, y'all gotta do better than this. This is Bush League. This is something I expect from an indie developer that don't know no better. Ain't got no quality assurance policy.
You would just think that. Listen, man, the worst thing they could have did.
He's webbing the sky. He's swinging on the sky.
Oh man!
Cloud swinging.
But look. Doing jitting out there, dog. He's out there rolling on the ground, break dance.
Now, look. If I was a PlayStation guy, forget being a PlayStation guy. If I was one of these people who was interested in the Avengers and chose to get it on PlayStation simply because Spider-Man was going to be there, despite the fact that when this game came out, the worst version of the game was on the original PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that there was going to be no next gen version at launch of the consoles, but you only got it because of Spider-Man, and this is what you got: no story content, terrible combat gameplay.
That's true.
And 40 different skins. So that just tells you what they put all their time and work into.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what they did.
They gotta hook Spidey up. They gotta have him actually looking good. Well, at least in his suit looking good, not his combat.
Bro. Where the ray tracing at? He looks so blurry, bro. Like, look, his suit looks super washed out. It don't look like right here. It looks like it's no detail. It's like, it's just, it is like, because you can't help but just go back and think, like, man,
there's a lack of texture detail, and there's a lack of texture detail. There's a lack of lighting, And I actually almost wish that you had some Insomniac Spider-Man gameplay that we could compare
Oh,
back and forth between this one and Spider-Man.
think
I have that, but
I think I
that's
do have that.
we're about to see. You about to see Bush League versus Pro League
Yeah.
when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I hate to say it, but it's just I keep seeing him doing the Zumba class, man.
He keep doing it. He's like, hey. Oh man.
No, it's just like I would be really upset if this is what they provided for me.
I
This is
am
it.
upset, and they didn't provide this for me.
It's really half-hearted content, and I wonder why this is. I wonder, is it because maybe this is just a skeleton crew for them still working on this game for new content, and the bulk of the studio has moved on to helping In Exile make Perfect Dark?
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Maybe, maybe that's the case, but I doubt it.
Listen, it's just it's kind of bad, bro. It's who knows, man. At this point, it's like very disappointing just to even comprehend how bad this looks. And like I said, it's not like they don't have a blueprint. The blueprint is literally a blueprint out here that shows you what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like, and it's like they just overlooked that completely. It's just crazy. But I don't know. I don't know what they could do in order to make that better.
Something just hit me.
What
One,
hit
this
you?
would make it even worse
What hit
for
you?
Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. But what if Sony told them to hold off on Spider-Man until they were close to launching the new Spider-Man movie, which is next month?
That could be it. I could see that more than what we've been seeing.
Yeah, that kind of just hit me just then. I think that it might be the case. They told them to hold off, but even then, telling them to hold off doesn't change the fact that, oh, by the way, you got an issue with the screen.
No, I know. I linked my capture card, so now you're looking at YouTube, and we're about to look at real Spider-Man gameplay.
I forgot what I was about to say. Lost my train of thought. No, it's just this whole thing is a bad look for we got Glacian in the chat saying we're praying for Perfect Dark. Now this is like it's like, what have you done for me lately, right?
Right.
Because there was Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, which was good. There was Rise of the Tomb Raider that was better. But now we got Marvel's Avengers, and it's like,
it's bad.
Can you even make games? It becomes the sentiment, right? Everyone loves Eidos Montreal now for Guardians of the Galaxy, but prior to that, they did Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And nobody liked Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So Eidos was looked at like, can you even make games? It was crazy.
It is.
You just trying to find some Spider-Man
Here
gameplay.
we go. Here's some real Spider-Man. Some real Spider-Man gameplay. We ain't gonna just give you the notes, so we're gonna give you what the future looks like on PS5, what a real Spider-Man game is gonna look like, because that stuff that they just showed, my eyes were hurting.
For as long as I can remember,
I
have looked for
feel like
an
I need
equal.
glasses after looking at that slow-mo.
One who could push
Look
me.
at just a texture on the cell. You look like this. God.
One who could surprise me.
And I know you're trying to play part 2.
One who could even
I've
beat
platinum them both. I've platinum Spider-Man and Spider-Man Hardcore.
me. Yet all I found
I'm all in on this game.
is disappointment.
But yeah, you look at the detail and
Will one of you
you could tell
finally
what
give
kind of
me what
material.
I desire?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not even a debate. But I think that's the biggest crime in all this to me is the fact that they have it just got thrown out the window. And then if you just
Hold on. Turn
Yuri,
down.
I'm here.
You have the video audio
What do you
on.
see?
oh, I do.
Find the rest. Boss wants them dead.
Looks like
Oh,
the
yeah, 'cause
demons
I
are
had it
moving in on
captured.
Fisk's territory.
Alright, yeah, thanks.
You got this?
There it is.
Appreciate you guys in the chat for that. If you missed what we had just said, we were talking about the difference between Insomniac's Spider-Man and what Crystal Dynamics put up with. Put in, and look at the
This is-
suit. Like
Well, this is
This is
2018, 2017.
no. This is actually the suit. Don't you remember this? There was a big deal about this.
Yeah.
Remember this is the initial reveal suit that they felt was too shiny. They didn't like the way the material looked. And then right before launch, they made some changes. And remember, a lot of people thought that there was like a downgrade going on because people just associate good graphics with everything. Your lights are flashing off of everything, and everything is shiny and bright, even if it's not realistic. But Insomniac felt like the changes they made to the suit were better than what they showed in this reveal. But regardless, like this is care being put into it. And yeah, look, those 40 suits for Marvel's Avengers, they all look great too. I've seen a good number of them. They look cool. But
yeah,
there's a huge difference. And would I expect Crystal Dynamics to match the level of quality that Insomniac put into this game? Not necessarily, because they tailored the combat. It's Arkham style combat, but they tailored it for Spider-Man, and it's a Spider-Man game. So of course you're going to put that much time into it. But if you're going to do it, Crystal Dynamics, do it. Give us the bare minimum. This is what they did with that just looked bad, man.
it was like a phone in. That's what that was like. They like phone well, we need to get this out so people can leave us alone.
Shout out to the Ash and Luca in the chat who said that Crystal Dynamics Spider-Man looking like a Sims character. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. It's pretty
but
bad.
now all that said, I do not think that this bears like poorly upon Crystal Dynamics working on Perfect Dark. I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think so either. I just think, and part of it might be the fact that COVID was a reality during it, and they really couldn't get as much done as they wanted to, and they had to ship it. We have seen that be a really big part of the last couple of years when it comes to development cycles, where you can put as much time into it as you want until we don't have any more time to give you. And that's kind of been a situation with a lot of different publishers and developers. Doesn't mean it's right, but that's just part of the conversation over the last couple of years. But like I said, finishing out this topic, you look at something, this video was in 2017 at E3. This Spider-Man, and I understand it's a Spider-Man game, but this Spider-Man should have been, at least the visual look of him should have been the bare minimum. I'm not saying the gameplay had to be
this is running on the PlayStation.
Yeah, this is running on the PlayStation 4.
Right.
This is the bare minimum that Spider-Man should have looked like. So it is what it is on that. But yeah, shout out to that conversation.
Is savage right now. Oh my gosh.
Man, Avengers Spider-Man moves like he's got COVID. Listen, man, that man was doing Tybo, shooting webs out of his head. Billy Blanks was proud of that moment. But
I have never seen a more unathletic Spider-Man before, yo.
It's like shout out to
the people saying Spider-Man got cake, man. Crystal Dynamics Spider-Man
got cake.
Yeah, he got some junk in the trunk apparently.
I mean, look, listen, slow mo. Wait a minute, hold up. You tell her, you who you telling? That's what they up here saying. Let's just go back to.
We ain't got to show it again. The stare of Spider-Man, but let's move on. Let's
Wait,
move
hold
on,
on,
man.
hold
Let's move
on,
on.
hold on. It's right here. It's right here. I think it's like right here in this. Like he's like, oh, stronger than your average. Yeah, boo boo. I'm stronger than your average bear. All right, let's move on. Shout out to the chat. Really appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. But we're moving over to part one of the last topic. We might, if we get time, we'll do the other part. But we're talking about the VGAs, and there's been a lot of conversation about what Xbox is going to be doing at the VGAs. Are they going to surprise the wildest like they did 2 years ago when it came to the reveal and announcement of the Xbox Series X? Are we going to get like a big game reveal, something like that? Or what are we going to actually see there is what a lot of people are talking about. And not just them in general, like what's the biggest thing we're going to see during the VGA? So I'm going to ask you first, what is something that you think Xbox is going to talk about? Because I know you showed me an article earlier from the homeboy Jess Corden, but what do you think is going to be shown there? And
It was just a tweet. It was just like a throwaway tweet.
Yeah,
But
it
it
was a
seems like
throwaway.
it seems like he's heard something. So essentially there was, oh man, let me go back to it. But I think there was a comment from, was it Jeff Grubb or Clobrill?
Oh, it's from Clobrill.
It was Clobrill?
Yeah, it was Clobrill.
Yeah, and it was more of saying, that something that we have spoke about before already, that Microsoft has for the past couple years done reveals at the Video Game Awards. The Video Game Awards is now that big. Look, when we talked about the whole nominees discussion, we talked about the fact that this is not your typical awards show. It's the awards are really like, even though it's the Video Game Awards, it's kind of secondary to why people tune in. They tune in. The only award they really care about is Game of the Year. They tune in to see reveals and to see games. And Jez Corden replied to Clover saying some dreams become reality, which is pretty it's a pretty nice insinuation there that you're gonna see something from Xbox again, which I've always kind of felt like that was definitely going to be the case. And with that being the case, I'm thinking we're probably going to see a game. We're not going to see hardware. They're not going to reveal the next Xbox. It's way too soon for that. They just revealed 2 Xboxes a year ago. I mean, they just launched 2 Xboxes a year ago. They're not going to reveal a new console. But I do think that we're going to see, for the first time, a game. Or, no, it's too early for that. So I was about to say maybe finally see Hellblade 2 again. But I think it's too early for that. Hellblade 2 just got out of pre-production. Huh?
That would be a nice reunion though. It would show 2 years. At this point, it would be 2 years since they showed it at the VGAs.
Yeah, but look, they were severely impacted by because
of motion capture and stuff like
that.
that.
Because they do a lot of performance capture. They weren't able to do that, and they're still doing the whole shooting of locations. I can't remember which country in Europe they're basing it off of, but they're still doing the shootings of locations. And if anyone's familiar with game development, how that works is that in order to recreate an environment that you like in the world, to put it into the game, and I remember Massive Entertainment doing this for the Division, for New York, and Division 1 and 2 for New York and Washington D.C. They traveled to Washington D.C. and New York and just took pictures, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures, to get the architecture and the geometry just right, so that when people played the game, if you were from those areas, have been to those areas, those cities before, you would feel like, oh yeah, that's that. I know where this is. I know where that is. That kind of stuff. Now, Hellblade's a little is a of course way more fictional than the Division is, but they have locations that they are trying to shoot, and they're still just I heard earlier this year they were just getting around to that. They came out with a blog talking about that. So they're far off. I don't think it's Hellblade 2. I do think it's something that we haven't seen before. And so in that regard, Compulsion Games, we've been hearing about Compulsion Games' this game. I can't remember the project name for it at the moment. The name escapes me. But that's been in development ever since the last expansion to We Happy Few dropped. And I think that was in 2019 or 2018, one of those. So I think we might see either a teaser trailer or a big reveal of that game for the first time. There's also the chance that Obsidian's game, their very Disco Elysium style game, might be seen, or it could be State of K3. I feel like it's going to be something we haven't seen before, but probably not from one of their bigger studios.
Mm.
Hell, it could be Redfall, because Redfall is supposed to come out next summer. And we haven't seen gameplay of Redfall.
Yeah, it could definitely be Redfall. I think it could also be an actual reveal of Starfield gameplay for some point, because
No, okay,
it could be, just because
it could be.
I
That
think
would be very off brand for Bethesda.
it would be, but I mean, but we're also talking about it's being Bethesda still operates independently of themselves. But I
Right.
think they still would do, if Xbox wanted them to, if they had something to show and it came out for them to be able to show something at the VGAs and Xbox wanted them to, I think they would do that. I don't think it would be like this huge breakdown like they do at E3 where they show you the systems and stuff like that. But I would think they might show you actually landing on, like, the last trailer they showed you basically taking off, leaving a planet. I can see them letting you, like, showing a gameplay of you landing on the planet and actually get out of the ship and show it, like, from the perception of where you would be the player, the way you like looking at trailers, like, hey, this is actual gameplay. It probably won't be deep gameplay, like, they will explain a lot of things, but I think they can actually really show something to kind of get people excited for what's going to happen at the end of next year. We still probably won't know what the game actually is, because we don't know what it truly is as of right now, other than being Fallout in space.
If they show gameplay and we still confused about what this game is,
Well, if they
that's a
show,
huge
I mean,
fail.
they can show gameplay, but not really show gameplay to really show off exactly what the game
What's
is.
the purpose?
Because people just want to know if that's what the game looks like. That's at this point,
They,
people just
they
want to know what that
already
looks
said
like.
they already said the trailer that they showed was in engine. Even though we already know that running on the Xbox Series X ain't gonna look like that, because running in engine is not. I'm so glad you agree with me now about this.
Well, no,
running in engine is not the same as actual gameplay on an actual piece of hardware that you would play games on. But look, I mean, I think when people say we don't know what Starfield is, we don't know if it's Elder Scrolls or Fallout in space. If it's Fallout in space, we have a baseline of like the Outer Worlds to fall back on, and this in-engine, is it called? What's the name of their engine? Creation Engine?
Yeah, Creation.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
it is Creation Engine.
Is it this
Creation Engine
updated
Part
Creation
2.
Engine?
Part
Yeah, this
2.
updated Creation Engine visually looks better than what Obsidian was able to come up with using Unreal.
Right.
But all that said, that's not gameplay. Like, people want to know what the gameplay's like. Bethesda fans want to know whether this is going to be another IP that they spend large portions of their life playing. non-Bethesda fans want to know whether this is something they can dismiss
Something that
because
they
of
can
that.
dismiss,
So-
right?
because like they don't really care for that, or people maybe there are people who are in between it, just like I'll check it out, we'll see. But I even though earlier this year, last E3, they kind of broke protocol by showing a game, a little bit of it, before it was ready. When previously they would go to E3, stealth launch, or stealth reveal a game,
Right.
be like it is coming out in October or it's coming out in November or whatever, like same year. And they didn't do that this year. I still kind of feel like they probably will do that next year. Like we probably won't see Starfield gameplay until
Well, that's what
E3 in next year.
Erodimus just said. He said it was an interview with Todd Howard. He said he remembered them saying that they won't show it till the summer, which is possibly a thing that they definitely don't do. I just think at a certain point it needs to be something that we either seen very little of or something we haven't seen anything of, like you said, Hellblade or Redfall. Especially Redfall is probably the leading candidate because that game is literally supposed to come out like in
In
7
like
months,
6 months.
6 to 7
Right.
months.
So like
So yeah.
so yeah, I think top of the list for me is probably Redfall, which I know some people laughed at how it looked, but like I stress that the leak of what the game looked like, we don't know at what stage of development that game was in when the leak photos were shown. That's one.
Right.
Two, developers do not develop a game with looking polished. Like the gameplay that we see right now, from Halo Infinite, like that's not how the game normally looks when they're developing the game. All the lighting, the shadows, and the detail and the extra textures, they add all that stuff in later on when it's necessary. When they're developing the game, they don't do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what we saw from Redfall likely isn't how Redfall is going to look visually when it comes out. Art direction wise, Arcane has never been like a photorealistic kind of studio anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not going to give you like Uncharted, levels of realism in the look of the characters and stuff like that. Look at what they did with the trailer and think it'll be probably similar to that in art style.
Mm-hmm.
But game's probably going to look better than I'm fairly certain it's going to look better than what we saw in those screenshots. But it would make sense if they were going to do any game. It would be a Bethesda published game, not their in-house games that they actually end up showing. Yeah, I agree with you about that. I think it might be Redfall, and my second would be Compulsion's new game, whatever that is.
Whatever that is. What do you think is the long shot?
Ooh, George says Avowed.
Yeah, I just saw he said Avowed too.
I think Avowed's that's a long shot.
That's
I think
the
it's
long
getting
shot.
Avowed. Yeah.
Longer than
Uh,
a Fable show off.
Oh yeah, Fable. I don't think Fable
2014. I think that's when that's releasing.
Yeah, we're probably not getting Fable until 2014.
Generation will be halfway over.
We probably won't see Fable until the Video Game Awards next year.
That's true. No, that's a question. That's speaking of, Forza's been such a hot topic over the course of this month. It seems like all of that conversation died down because Halo, the beta, the quote unquote beta released. But when do you think we're going to see Motorsport come back?
I think it's coming back next year.
You think so? Do you think
it would have been? Hold up, let me look at when
Motorsport last time
they did
Motorsport was
7, right? The last one was 7, right?
2016, 2017.
It came out, yes, 27 October in 2017.
Yeah,
It's now been 4 years. I think Turn 10 has been retooling Forza Tech engine, and I think the Forza Tech 2.0, whatever you want to call it, I think it will be ready to show. And in typical Forza fashion, they're not going to show it until E3. And then and kind of like the way Bethesda does their games, it'll release in like October, November, whatever.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be? Do you think next year? You said you
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah. I
gonna
definitely
make
think
next
that's
year?
next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 5 years.
And 5
Yeah,
years is a long
there'll
time.
be 5 years since Motorsport 7. I think
I
5 years is enough time for them to make it look significantly better than the previous entries, even the Forza Horizon entries, because they use the playgrounds just using Turn 10's engine and actually bring something new to the table.
Yeah, I think the reason some people always wonder like why it takes so long for them to make Motorsport. Motorsport itself doesn't take long to make, but the difference is it doesn't change too much because you're dealing with a track-based game where the tracks stay the same, the environment stay the same. The only thing that change are cars, and then for the most part, cars keep their same, chassis and their overall model for years before they move on.
Man, I told you what they need to do.
Well, what was that?
Yeah, add a story mode in there,
Oh,
man.
I thought. Yeah. To Forza Horizon, they definitely need to add one.
Let's do it the Motorsport too. You're a racer, right? You're a racer,
Okay.
and there's drama going on among the other racers that you race against.
Just tell the Bubba Wallace story. Pretty much.
Oh, I mean, I guess you can do that. Yeah, dude, put Bubba Wallace on the cover. Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, they do have a NASCAR component to Forza. So
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff they can do. There's a lot of stuff they can do with that. It's just been crazy to me that it's been roughly 3 years since they showed that sizzle reel for Forza Motorsport. It's been 3 years since then, so we haven't seen anything from Motorsport since then. So I think that's something else. I don't think it's going to be at E3. I mean, not at E3. I don't think it's going to be something at the Video Game Awards because as we already figured, most people don't care about racing because that's why that game isn't part of the Game of the Year discussion, because it's a racing game. So
right, it's niche.
It's niche as heck.
The people who like races like it, but
yeah,
don't expect it in the Video Game Award conversation, especially Jeff Keighley's Video Game Awards.
Exactly.
It's not going to be about that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so do you think, finishing that out, do you actually think there's going to be live in person E3 next year? Or do you think we're still?
Yeah, look, I don't know, because the world still is where it is. It's getting better.
They do.
People are vaccinated, but then there are people who, it's their choice, but they choose not to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who choose not to wear masks, and there are people who are still dying from COVID. Someone that we know, and a panel member of Scumcast with us, lost their sister.
Yeah.
This week to COVID.
Yeah.
She was just 40 years old. That's my age.
It's my age.
People are still dying from this. And as long as there is an option to mitigate that, I do think the Video Game Awards this year is live in person, right? I'm fairly certain.
I think he said they are. I don't know.
I'm gonna double check. I think that's the case. So you'll still see some things that are live and in person, but that's just one award show, one night where and they probably will be social distancing, anyway. But you have so many options for so many people, so many publishers who usually show up to E3 to just choose not to and just do a pre-recorded show, and it's cleaner that way. There's no flubs from the speakers. There's no technical difficulties. It's easier to do that. I don't think E3 will ever be what it once was.
No, I agree with that 100%.
So I don't think it'll ever be 100% like a live show, not a live show, but 100% people flying out to California for E3. I don't think it'll ever be that again. I think the format that Nintendo does with their directs is now it's already been adopted by everybody.
They were ahead of the curve 6 years ago when they did that.
Yeah, they were very much ahead of the curve, and I do expect that to continue. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel with it. So, finishing it out, last part, just pretty much one question for you, Slow Mo, and anybody in the chat, definitely chime in on your thoughts on it. Everybody knows we all grew up with Xbox, 20 years ago. Half of our lives, most of us was just graduating high school, starting college or just getting out of college, depending on how old you are. We remember, Xbox LAN parties at college, or and carrying your TV to your best friend's room and running your Ethernet cable from one Xbox through the closed chute to the basement to your brother's room so he can play. You can play each other that way. It's so many memories, not just in Halo, but just in Xbox in general. So Xbox 20-year anniversary just came and went, and I just want to ask you the one simple question. What is the most memorable thing for you when it came to just Xbox over 20 years?
Most memorable thing to me, I'll start from the very beginning. For me, was uh, hanging out with my friends, and we were all in our early 20s. But like, I remember how we used to be. And I mean, I was always a big gamer, but my friends weren't. But Xbox kind of had like this effect and look, matter of fact, let me just say this real quick. One of my friends that used to play games with me all the time has finally come back for Halo Infinite because we were big into Halo, and it was Halo Combat Evolved was really such a massive impact on us that like we weren't out, in the streets like we were prior to that time. We were hanging out in my boy's house with like, you know, two TVs, two Xboxes, system link, let's go. Talking trash, with crazy custom names you can't do now. I used to call myself a Ebola virus so that when I killed you, it would say that you died from a Ebola virus. Stuff like we would have that kind of fun, and it's we would stay up all night doing that. Like you didn't even realize it. The sun's coming up. We've been just playing Halo matches, hang 'em high, blood gulch all night long, and that was that was like I could remember that explicitly. I could remember like those days. For me, it was Knights of the Old Republic, man. Um, that was probably Knights of the Old Republic was probably my introduction into Western RPGs. At the time, BioWare wasn't well known, and most Western RPGs were only played on computers at that time, and I was primarily just a console gamer. And it was the storytelling is like you guys know my opinion on Star Wars. It's overrated. Still overrated. But the best story, the absolute best story that Star Wars has ever had has been Knights of the Old Republic. That game's amazing. Like, amazing RPG even today. And I'm glad it's getting a remake because it deserves it. But like those games, Xbox Live, regardless of all the racial slurs that 12-year-old white kids said to me while I was playing Halo Halo multiplayer. Still had good times. Fable 2 is always going to be a classic to me. Fable 2, being able to just raise a family and then abandon that family and raise a whole new family. but like getting cut down, something that was like amazing to me at that time was to get killed and then get cut down and then like have the permanent scar on my body that would stay for the rest of the game. I thought that was just like like, wow, this is next level. Like, that that was the greatest thing in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've had good times with Xbox. I wish last generation would have given me just as many that were unique to Xbox, like like Destiny, The Division, Borderlands 2. These are games that I could have played anywhere.
Anywhere,
And
yeah.
so, but those really kind of filled up the bulk of my time before I finally got off the loot shooter train. But
Y- You know,
yeah, go
after
ahead, man.
hearing you say that, that might be why so many people are so. I'm not gonna say because I'm not trying to call people fanboys today, because it's your love of video games and your love of video games, and the platform you choose to prefer is part of that. And I wonder if that's the reason why so many PlayStation centric people that love PlayStation so much. Is it because they had games that have consistently been there, like newer things, no lows pretty much when it comes to the type of experiences they can get, whereas Xbox kind of really truly fell off last generation, where there was really no new innovation. I mean, there were some games, but nothing that was like Gears of War or Halo. And it's like, so part of me feels like it's kind of unfair because they started out strong, like stronger than most, like somebody that literally just comes into this industry. No one expected Halo to be the billion-dollar franchise. No game was making as much money as Halo when it first came out. Then nobody expected Gears of War to like usher in the ultimate grit and gore that it did when it came to the original Gears of War. And then nobody really thought that there was a game that would ever really surpass, in some people's eyes, surpass Gran Turismo when it comes to racings and stuff. So they have truly, on the three tent poles that when people say Halo, Gears, and Forza, the reason they say that is because those are experiences that no one really could compete with, especially back then. Nowadays it's completely, trivial because, third party games do things a lot better than the first party can do outside of, Sony and their first party studios. But I always just thought it was interesting that, that was always the conversation. And hearing you say that kind of just cemented it a little bit for me. And it's not that Xbox hasn't done great over the last generation. It's just that they didn't do nearly enough over the last generation. And that's, it's kind of a bittersweet, pill to an extent, because the things that we love the most, like me, Halo with my brother, taking my TV to other places' houses, playing games like playing like sports games like NBA on Xbox Live, going out and buying my Xbox Live starter kit with the communicator headset in the box for $79 at GameStop when it was out, and jumping directly into NBA or NFL the moment I got the system, and playing 7 or 8 hours of Xbox Live, if not 12 hours a day, having a full-time job.
Ooh, hey, real quick, did someone there have a running riot in the gameplay?
Oh yeah, shout out to Slow Mo and his 30, what was it, 30-4 in this game, 30-2.
Something like that. I had like 30 kills, like 3 or 4 deaths or something
I was
like
just
that.
looking
It
at the
was
kill feed the whole time we were in this game. I was looking at the kill feed like Slow Mo. This ain't fair. This ain't fair. Shout out to the
it was a perfect storm. It
yeah.
was just,
Shout out to the squad.
yeah, we ain't got to talk about
just
who,
shout out to the
who.
squads over there, man. You see the names in the chat. It was we came, we saw, we conquered that day.
Yes, conquered, swiftly and decisively.
Decisively. No, shout out to
it was fun though.
It was a fun
we
game.
had a lot of
we only
fun.
got a chance to play a couple of them, man. But
We
that's
need to
another
do-
thing. Getting
Look, hold up real quick.
go ahead.
We see so much foolishness in the community. We need to do more stuff like this.
Right. This
Where
was
it's
all
like-
community people. Look at like if I was to pause this and you just look at that kill feed, those are all people that we talk to on Twitter. people that we go and we talk to in these live streams in the chat and stuff like that. Those are all people that we communicate with, and probably not on a day-to-day basis, but enough to the point where we know who they are.
I tell you what you won't see on that the scoreboard. People going around Twitter Spaces threatening other people's lives.
Facts.
You won't see that, right?
Nope.
You won't see saying, "Hey, come see me in at my city so we can hash this out man to man. I'm a grown man kind of talk." You ain't gonna see none of that because we play games. This is a video game. Like, yeah, this is a drama community, as our as the homie Luca would say. But over here we play games. We don't play Twitter, and we don't play keyboard warrior either. So we like to play games and play games with people who like to play games. And look, we got a bunch of group of people together. We got the Legion of Scum, and we got a whole nother community to come play with us, and we had a great time, man. It was a lot of fun. And we, like what I'm saying, is that we should see more of this. Like, just, hey, let's one Discord play against another Discord, and instead of going around and people making videos about each other and Twitter Spaces about each other and
look at
stock
Luca
accounts and whatnot.
Look at
Like,
Luca
what
in
is
the
that?
chat flexing her 3.0 KD in this game.
Luca was killing.
It was fun.
She was right behind me. She was right behind me.
Behind you. I mean, she was at the top of the leaderboard for a while, and then you went on this ridiculous tear where I felt like you were RoboCop or something.
RoboCop.
What's going on in this game, Slow-Mo? Slow-Mo was out there putting work in, but no, it was fun though. But finishing out the topic, for myself, like I said, my most memorable experience for Xbox is, it has nothing to do with the system itself when it comes to playing it. It was going to the official launch party for it. Like, I was blessed enough. My mom was working, she was doing traveling nursing. This is when she had, before she had moved to the Virgin Islands, and she was working a strike in New York. And I went to go visit her there, and Xbox was doing their New York, their event there the week of the system coming out, or the day the system was coming out. So I actually got a chance to go to that event. Saw, a very, very young Major Nelson at that time, and a whole bunch of other people, Seamus Blackley and stuff like that was all at the event. And it was really cool. I have the picture somewhere. It's probably in the box somewhere, but the picture of us.
Why were you going through my medals in that match?
Oh, because I was looking, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was just looking at these medals like, how many medals did this dude get with 30 kills? I got to check it out. Got to see what's going on. But, yeah, but I go into that event
was a good day.
Yeah, one of those events was that event was like the highlight for me. Drinking a bunch of Surge, which was a broke down version of Mountain Dew. But
Surge was great, man.
Surge was it was.
I just got a surge of energy thinking about Surge.
Surge, man. Listen. They
man,
got that.
Shout out to Surge, man. They kept the brother going sometimes.
Right.
Man.
They got that marketing deal with Xbox, and Surge took off for about 6 months, and that was about it. so shout out to that. But yeah, man, it's great show today, Slow-Mo. Really appreciate you doing this with me today. I know it's going to be kind of crazy throughout the rest of the week, but we wanted to make sure that we brought some type of content to you guys on top of the videos that we both released this week. So with that being said,
expect more of that too.
Yeah,
I got one coming out. I think what I'm gonna do is, one's gonna be a little bit easier to do. I'm still working on the long-term stuff. So, like, as I said before, I'm still working on the long-term stuff that some of you guys are already aware of. But I got a video coming out tomorrow that's going to be real easy to put together. And so I could probably get it done tonight and just schedule it out for tomorrow. And then I'm going to work on another one that I'm going to have scheduled for like maybe Thanksgiving or Friday, maybe Friday, because Thanksgiving people are going to be too busy to look at stuff. So
right.
Maybe Friday, but definitely we have come to an agreement that we are we've been slacking, and there's
Very
gonna be no
much
more
so.
slacking. Like the channels will not be lacking of uploads. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, definitely. Outside of that, DPS will be back next week at its regular scheduled time on Slow-Mo's channel at 9 p.m. on Thursday. You guys make sure you are there dressed to impress, because that's what we gonna be doing, and we'll have a lot of other stuff to talk about, because normally the week after the holidays they decide they want to announce a lot of stuff, and then that will be the week before the Game Awards too. So we can probably we'll probably be some stuff around that will be leaked out about stuff that we might see that we can talk about then too.
The Game Awards show is on the 10th.
I think it's on the 10th. Yeah.
That is a Friday.
Is it?
I don't think that's right.
Is it the 9th? Is it? It might be the 9th. Let me see. VGAs, the video game.
I don't think that's correct, because I feel like it should be a Thursday.
No, it is December 9th. It's on a Thursday. Holy crap. It's
Okay.
So, you know what? That's what we did last time. Didn't we do?
Yeah.
We did
Hold up. No.
Shout
out to rest in peace to our homie iDizzy, because he did it with us.
Did it with us.
Man, that
I just thought about that. Yeah, Dizzy. Yeah, cause we literally streamed it and did DPS after the live stream.
Yeah, which was like
so great.
I'm so exhausted. But yeah, maybe we can do it again. Maybe we'll we'll see who may want to join us.
We'll reach out to somebody in the community that see if we can get somebody in. So be on the lookout for that. That's in 2 weeks. But yeah, I think
I'm gonna have to be dodging the copyright claims left and right. Last time they hit me with like 7 copyright claims.
Last time, wasn't it? It'll be on my channel
because
this time.
You know how Jeff Keighley is with his music. He gotta he gotta have Green Day, Fall Out Boy. He gotta have every band you can think of show up and do covers of video game songs. And it's just like, oh my
god. Yeah, it's
orchestras and yeah. I'm gonna get copyright claim to hell. I already know it, but it's all right. I don't care. It's cool.
Cool. Well, we'll reach out.
It'll be a good time.
We'll let you guys know probably sometime next week before that is. But I do think we are going to want to do that again, and especially just so we can make sure that we shout out iDizzy during that show, because he did it last year with us, and that he made that show way better than it needed to be, him being there. And I truly miss him so freaking much. But
absolutely.
For myself, Gaming Forte, you're already on the channel. Be on the lookout for more videos. Got some more Halo stuff in the mix. And I actually have a video coming out tomorrow that you guys will see in like 8 hours, because I'm trying to stay consistent with my upload. So thanks again for all the support on the last video. And with that being said, guys, you guys have a great week, a great Turkey Day. Eat a lot. Don't eat too much, but eat a lot. And have fun with your families and enjoy the games over the course of the week with everybody. Y'all guys have a great week.
Peace.